How is everyone doing? I'm Nini FC, this is Blue Lines TV. Welcome to the match review of our 3-0 win over Dynamo Kyiv. In today's match review, I'm going to be talking about the lack of Ruben and Hudson Odoi. I'm going to be talking about Olivier Giroud. I'm going to be talking about Willian and Pedro. And I'm going to be talking about why Dynamo Kyiv was so poor as well. But you guys, before I get into anything, today's video is brought to you by the One Football app. Everyone keeps telling me that they're really enjoying the app. And for people that still haven't downloaded it, you're missing out. There's so many valuable features on the app. Fixture lists, news on individual players, all the clubs of your choice. It's the most convenient app to have because everything comes through alerts. Whatever you sign up to, whatever you follow, you'll get an automatic alert for that, keeping you up to date with all the latest football news. If you guys want to help me out, go to the link in the description below and download the One Football app. Getting straight into the match review, starting with the lineup. And let's be serious, you guys. We saw the initial lineup. No Ruben, no Hudson Odoi. We all had that sinking feeling like, wow, it's going to be another one of those games. Seeing Cover and Barkley in those positions as well, you're telling yourself there's going to be absolutely no penetration coming through the middle. And you're just thinking that, you know what, it's going to be one of those depressing performances. But the amazing positive was that, especially in the first half, the football was on point. I was seeing sorry ball. I was seeing great football. And a player that really typified that was Olivier Giroud, but I'm going to speak about him much later on. Of course, as the game goes on, Ruben and Hudson Odoi do make their appearance, and they've been teasing us with their ability and their talent for such a long time now. And you're thinking, sorry, what's the excuse for not starting them? Even today, Ruben wins the free kick for Willian. He creates the assist for Hudson Odoi. Of course, Hudson Odoi scores as well. And look how they play. Look what they offer the team. When you see Ruben playing, you ask yourself, why don't Cover? Why doesn't Ross Barkley do the same thing? Why don't these guys have the same impact? And one thing that's really becoming quite evident is the fact that Ruben takes up very dangerous positions where he knows that he can make something happen. He can be decisive. He takes responsibility. He calls for the ball in very tight areas. And because the guy's a fantastic football player, it's bread and butter for him. And this is why he always constantly has a positive influence on our game. Hudson Odoi as well. I was thinking, wow, imagine being 18 years old. European nighttime. The crowd are singing your name. Singing your name at 18. You're not even a first team player yet. But everyone in the stadium knows, all the fans know that we've got a real talent here. We've got a top class talent at our disposal. And there's no excuse why Sarri isn't using him enough. I'm sorry. There is no excuse. I feel like Ruben and him constantly passing their tests. When they come on, they make something happen. They get an assist or they get a goal. I don't understand why this isn't enough for Sarri. What is his real issue for not using them enough? I don't understand right now. There is no excuse. They improve our game and it makes you think if these guys could play alongside the better players like, Higuain, Hazard, for example, Jorginho back there, Emerson, etc., they're going to elevate the team even more. It's getting frustrating. I don't get it. I don't understand the reluctance for managers to constantly do this. I have a tiny bit of a theory when it comes to Sarri, a small theory. A part of me feels like the way in which Napoli lost the Scudetto to Juventus last season, especially after beating them near the end of the season and being one of the best teams, if not the best team in Italy that season, to not win it, Sarri might be thinking, you know what, I never ever want to be in a position like that again. So he's seeing this Chelsea job as an opportunity to win something for himself. He's thinking, you know what, I've been the nearly man for so long, I don't care now. I don't care about development, etc. I kind of want instant results, and I feel more confident and comfortable relying on the older experienced players than doing what I normally do. That's my little theory. Just don't take that for facts. I'm trying to understand the reluctance, and I don't understand it anymore. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, these two are some of our best players just from what they provide in the team. I mean, just Hudson Odoi, just come on the game. Barely played any minutes, gets a goal with his first shot on goal. It's ridiculous, but That's enough of that. Of course, I do want to talk about a lot of positives in this game today. There were a ton. The performances from guys like Pedro, Giroud, even Willian was good today as well. Many, many positives. The performance in the first half really typified the recent progress of this team. The football was slick. It was on point. I think Dynamo Kyiv came with a wrong approach. Maybe this is a good place to really start to explain why they made it kind of easy for us. Now, of course, they did use their 4-2-3-1. Very compact, very compact. Their wingers really tucked inside. And I was thinking, I wasn't too sure about that because it really freed up all the flank, for our fullbacks to really stretch the play and stretch their defensive line. For example, if you're going to be very compact, for me, you need to have the wingers taking up the fullback positions. Dynamo Kyiv didn't have that. So it's like whenever we start to make any combinations down our flanks, we were constantly cutting them open, playing through them. And it was quite baffling to me why they set up like that. I thought that our pressing today was on point, especially in that first half. They tried to play out from the back, credit to them. They tried to play their football, but we were the better team. And I think that the only threat that came from Dynamo Kyiv came when, our tempo was down. We were a bit complacent, not really playing on point. Other than that, they didn't really pose us with any issues whatsoever. And for me, it's such a big game in Europe, one of the big games of their season. If you're a Dynamo Kyiv player, you're disappointed with your performance today. There's no questions about that. And I think that, of course, I'm not saying that Dynamo Kyiv from the main reason why we played well, no. But I did make things a bit easier. For example, weren't really closing down Jorginho enough. One of those games where Rosbach had the space to play in. And I think that we were just on point. I want to talk about some of the standout performers, starting with Olivier Giroud. Now, this is one of his best games in a Chelsea shirt so far. The guy's link-up play was elite. It was elite. The first touch passes. The Kiev defense couldn't handle him. He was too strong. His first touch was too good. His movement was too good as well. And it was like they were kind of scared to get too tight to him. I think Olivier Giroud, and I think he's the type of striker where he gets, when he sits a bit deep, I feel like he's at his element then because you see his playmaking abilities. And I think that when you're an inside forward playing alongside a striker like Olivier Giroud, it does make your life easy. And is it really a surprise that our wingers tend to score goals when Giroud's playing? I don't think so. And why is that the case? Well, that's because they can link up with him. They can do layoff passes. And of course, when you're doing give and goes with Olivier Giroud, most times you are going to get the ball back. And I think that this is the main reason why our wingers tend to score more goals when Giroud's playing up front. Pedro, very effective performance. And I think that Giroud really complemented his style today. The only disappointment was the fact that he didn't get enough goals. And really his performance deserved that. The first goal he scored, for example, immaculate goal, a great build-up play between him and Olivier Giroud. Giroud just really typifying for me why he was the man of the match tonight. Well, that's in my opinion. But, Pedro was threatening. The Dynamo Kyiv players just couldn't handle him, He really took advantage of the space that Dynamo Kyiv gave us. It was quite easy just to make a run in behind, especially down the flanks. And, I just don't get the defensive performance. If you're going to be that deep, you need to have your wingers taking up those fullback positions, not tucking in midfield, just giving us all the space down the flanks. It made no sense at all. But it's nice to see that Pedro has regained some form. And, that's the thing with both him and Willian. They are good players, we can't deny that. But it's the consistency now. And unfortunately, we just can't get consistently good performances like this from these guys week in, week out. But again, hopefully, we need a bit of form now. We need that run of form. And if guys like Willian and Pedro are going to step up now, at this time, this is the best time in my opinion because we're still trying to fight to get into the top four. As Rudiger told everyone, the team are aiming to get a third place finish this season. And I think that's a very good ambition to have. And I'm hoping that things are going to step up now, and that is going to be the case. Another silky player today was David Luiz, and for me, the guy's a world-class player. A lot of people still think that he's a bad defender, but, sometimes I kind of wish that, if we could, watch more games. I'm not going to lie, a few times, let's say I'm watching a Tottenham game on TV or something else, I'll see an Alderweireld make a mistake, or Vertonghen, but no one says anything, no one questions anything. If that was David Luiz to make the same mistake, everyone's immediately on him because everyone's waiting for him to make an error. And I think that when you have that mentality in your heads, you're not really looking at the player objectively, and you're not really doing him any justice, because we make out that guys like the Tongans and Alderweireld and the Man City defenders aren't making any mistakes, which is nonsense. They constantly do every time. I think we don't appreciate David Luiz enough. Some of his passing ability just helps the team out so much when we beat a press, when we play out, when we start attacks as well. He organises things very well, and I thought that him and Christensen were very good today. David Luiz, I don't understand why he isn't our captain from the start. I don't know. But again, come on, you guys. Let's have some more respect for David Luiz. I think he's too underrated, in my opinion. Way too underrated. To add a few more things, of course, when the second half started, Sarri wasn't particularly happy. And that was down to the fact that the intensity really dipped. And of course, it wasn't really a surprise to see Ruben and Kante coming on. The tempo steps up. And with these guys, personally, in my opinion, I think Ruben and Kante is a better match than Kova and Barkley together, because, both players in Kante and Ruben break the lines. They do get forward. They do actually provide something in the final third. We have to say that Kante's been more effective this season than Kova and Barkley in those positions further up the field. And I think that, of course, it was no surprise to me that when they came on, we seemed to step up a bit more. But you guys, you know what? That's going to bring an end for today's match review. We have to say today, we saw a lot of signs of Sarri ball. Now, to be honest, I need to stop saying Sarri ball. It's not as if Maurizio Sarri's reinvented the game. I think that it's just like a catchy slogan that refers to Sarri. Let's be serious. I mean, the fundamentals of what he's trying to get his team to do isn't something unique or different. Let's be serious. But we saw signs today that some of the players are starting to understand now. Making runs off the ball is a very important thing. Because when you constantly do that, when you have someone like a Jorginho or other players in the team like Luiz, they're going to find you, you're going to stretch teams, and you're going to create goals. And it's another positive performance, especially after the Fulham game as well, where we created a ton of opportunities. And on another day, if our finishing was better, we're going to completely thrash them. But to win 3-0 in the first leg, top performance, saw some great individual performances today. A lot more positives. The only thing I want to say is, please, Sarri, it's time to start using Hudson, Odoi and Ruben more. You guys, that's going to be the end. Thank you for watching. I'm Dynamo FC. This is Blue Line TV. Signing out.